we've seen Pete as Pete in the past. And so I'm curious, when crafting the show, what the lines you wanted to blur with what you wanted to tell, which people might infer as his real life, and how much you wanted to lean into the fictional side of his life.
Yeah, I mean, like, we wrote this show in a vacuum, like during the pandemic, and we wanted the show to have like a boundlessness to it and like a sense of anarchy. It was important to us that there were no restrictions on what the show was allowed to do, and I think that it was really, at the end of the day, what made us laugh the hardest or what made us feel the most was sort of our guiding metric with that. So like, I don't think that it was like a calculated how much we want to exaggerate or how much we want to focus on things that were real. I think at the end of the day, it was just like within each of the episodes, there is an underlayer of a truthful dynamic within Pete's life. And then where we take that core kind of truthfulness, it's sort of, there's a wild erraticness to it that makes it Bupkis.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's something where in the first 8 episodes, we get a bunch of different snapshots of his life. You talk about the formatting and kind of getting that thing versus he has a singular journey throughout the season.
Yeah, I mean, like we really wanted the show to continually shift and turn in unexpected ways. And even though we are telling a story arc for each of our characters, we didn't want to like overly map anything. And I think it was important to us that we, in the sense of having a sense of anarchy to the show, we deliberately wanted to defy expectations between episodes and sometimes even within episodes by shifting tone, because it feels like that's oddly more truthful to real life, because sometimes the darkest and most depressing moments can also be the most absurd and even comedic moments. And to us that seemed to just make sense.
Absolutely. Well, and one of the fun things about the way you guys play with the show is also how you utilize get to utilize those relationships, but some people are playing characters within the world. How did you guys decide which actors you were going to utilize in which way?
It really was just a collection of, Pete was very instrumental in suggesting people, and a lot of our cast, which is like an unbelievable laundry list of some of like the most incredible actors. I'd like to describe the show as like a fever dream of how absurd it is to be in Pete's orbit. And I say like our casting is like a wonderful fever dream, because it's like, Pete is a dreamer, and he goes for very ambitious gets in terms of his favorite people in the world. And even when it seems like it's impossible, we somehow, the stars aligned and we were able to get Joe Pesci to play his grandfather and Edie Falco to play his mother. And like it was really just a collection. I think for fans of Pete Davidson, you can come to the show and you're going to see a lot of reference points to his favorite things in the world, his favorite actors that are associated with his favorite projects. And it was a mixture of people he knew, people that he's massive fans of, and, everywhere in between. And I think it was just like it is like a surreal thing to be able to get everyone you could possibly wish for to play these roles and elevate what we wrote the way that they did.